In 2014, in search of a lifestyle that was closer to nature, we left our busy life in the southeast of England and moved to a remote part of Scotland. Here, our lives could be more in harmony with the flow of the seasons. This is our story. Good morning, I'm John, and I welcome you to my garden on the west coast of Scotland. I'm a Druid within the order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, and this particular video is about a meditation practice that I use when I'm out in the wilds to help me connect with nature. Now, if you are an experienced meditator, you might like to skip the introduction and just go straight to the meditation, which begins about 5 minutes into this video. Meditation itself is about 14 minutes long. If, however, you are less confident in meditation practice, then I suggest you watch the whole thing. Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then there's all sorts of things to explore, and if you've been here before, then welcome back. Today, what I'm actually going to do is to actually do a meditation. This came about because in my last video, which there's a link below, the Naked Druid, I mentioned that I use a meditation technique that allows me to blend into the landscape in a way that I feel I've almost dissolved. And we'll run through the meditation, but before we do that, I need to actually mention a few important things. And the first thing is that essentially you need to be comfortable, and that's about emotional comfort. Now, I do this meditation practice myself. I do it naked because I find that my sensuality, my body, the fact that my body is, I am a sensual being, enables me to connect with, for instance, the breeze that's blowing past me at this moment and the warmth of the sunlight. I can feel all these things on my skin in a very intimate way. But that doesn't mean to say you've got to do this meditation naked. The other aspect of being emotionally comfortable is actually choosing where you do the meditation. Now, if you're a beginner, although it's very romantic to think of meditating out under a tree, like I'm doing, it's actually also quite difficult because there's so many distractions. So you're often better off working in a more familiar indoor space. And you can still get the same effect. You can still reach the same point of stillness and calm and absorption, potentially indoors. But outdoors is particularly nice. If, on the other hand, you are more of an experienced meditator, then and you want to find somewhere outdoor, in a park or under a tree or in the woods or by the beach, then you find the place that's right for you. And let's call that your place of power. That's a phrase that I borrow from one of Carlos Castaneda's book when he was actually talking about his place of power. And that's a place where you really feel comfortable. And this is the place that I do. This is an oak tree on the west coast of Scotland, and I'm looking out in front of me to to Loch Sunart and the island of Mull and the Morvern Peninsula just the other side of the water. So you find your place of power. You find the place where you are emotionally comfortable. And then there's physical comfort. If your hips are screaming or your knees are hurting, then you're not going to be able to concentrate very well. Now, I've been sitting on the floor cross-legged for the best part of 40 years, so I'm very used to that. It's a very natural position for me to adopt. But find a way of being comfortable yourself. It may be that you can sit on the floor, it may be that you need a stool, or you may even need to sit on a chair. And if you need to sit on a chair, sit on a chair. It's not a problem. The important thing is that your spine is upright and not supported. And there's a number of aspects to that, some esoteric and some practical. The practical things is if you lean back and rest against something, then it's quite likely you'll go to sleep. And whilst that's not a bad thing in itself, it's possibly not what we're aiming to achieve on this occasion. So as I said, you don't have to be naked. What I would say is that it does help if you've got this part of your upper arm bare. So if the arms are bare up to the shoulder, you'll find that will actually be a useful area to concentrate on when we go through the meditation practice. Find your place of power, and then we'll begin. So just for a few moments, just sit quietly, allow things to settle down. And then I invite you to just let your eyes close. When your eyes close, just bring your awareness to where you're sitting, what you're sitting on. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the way it's pulled down into the earth or into the chair. Just allowing your awareness to seep down through the seat, through the floor, into the ground. Being conscious of the energies you may feel there, the grounded nature that this brings into the practice. And then noticing the way your spine just comes out of the back of the pelvis and holds your torso erect. And think about the position of your neck and your head, and just let the head just balance lightly on top of your spine. So the posture we adopt is one of relaxed alertness. Give that a moment to settle. Give yourself a moment or two. And see how quickly your mind jumps into speculation and comment and discussion. That inner dialogue that we all have. And then notice that your body's breathing. By using this idea of the third person, we don't get quite so attached to the physical form. It's your body's nature while it's alive to breathe. It breathes in and it breathes out. It's an automatic reflex. And just see the nature of the breath, what it is now. Try not to get hold of it. Try not to grab it and make it something that you think it ought to be. Let your breath express itself as it will. See whether the breath is long or short, sharp and shallow, or deep and slow. It doesn't have to be any particular pattern. It's much more important that you actually notice what it is and how it is. And again, you'll find your mind will wander. You'll start to experience thoughts coming in, feelings. Maybe your hips are starting to hurt. Maybe your bottom's feeling a little bit hard on a hard surface. But just bring the awareness back into your breathing and do it gently, as though you were sort of guiding back a toddler. Instead of shouting at it, just gently edge it away from a place of danger. And use that same idea with your breath and with your attention. Just bringing your attention into the simple process of the body breathing. And notice the sensations in your body. Depends where you are. In my case, I can feel perspiration on my brow because it's actually really warm here. And yet I can feel the breeze caressing my skin. I can feel that my right knee and my right arm are warm, whereas my back and the back of my left arm are actually cooler because they're actually in the shade. Now your circumstances are going to be different to mine, but use that same idea and just spend a moment or two. You're likely to have clothes on. Feel the way your body moves against your clothes. Pay attention to the subtleties of everything. As you can see, my hair is blowing around, the wind has come up. And then bring your awareness to the tops of your arms, the outsides of your biceps, where I was showing you in the beginning. And then use your power of imagination. And imagine you're breathing in through that part of your body. Instead of breathing through your nostrils, you're actually inhaling through your skin. Your skin is permeable, and you inhale through the upper arms, and you exhale through the upper arms. And every time the mind wanders off, every time you get distracted, gently bring the awareness back. And see how as you inhale, as though the upper arms inflate just a little bit and then deflate as you breathe out. You get that feeling going. And as you focus into that feeling, more and more you actually are just aware of the movement rather than the surface of your skin. It's as though that sense of dissolution is happening. And then notice how as you do that, the whole body starts to inhale or starts to inflate as you inhale. Just very slightly, not a big deal. And feel the body actually pushing against your clothes. Or if, like me, you're unclothed, then you actually feel the skin, it seems to stretch. And as it stretches, it becomes translucent. And just sitting here, breathing in and breathing out, experiencing the whole body breath. Body inhaling, the body exhaling. Not to my rhythm, but to yours. Just get that idea that you're just dissolving into that oneness with the web of life. Because whether we experience it directly or not, we are part of that web of life, the web of life itself. And the web of life is in us. We're an intrinsic part of all. And as you sit quietly and still, the experience of being separate, a separate being, falls away. It's as though my body casts no shadow. It's as though the wind just passes through me uninterrupted. And every time your awareness jumps away, bring it back gently, gently into that experience of dissolution. Notice the stillness. And maybe the inner conversation has actually died away a little. And then as we start to bring the meditation to an end, acknowledge your place in the scheme of all life. The earth beneath you, the sky above you, and the seas around you. And then when you're ready, just gently moisten your lips and open your eyes. Thank you for staying with me. That's it. Hopefully you found that an interesting exercise and found a bit of stillness within the process. It's not a difficult thing to remember. It's the sort of thing that you can do yourself, or you can download this video and use it again. Please feel free to do that. Even share it around. Many blessings. If you've enjoyed what I've done, then you might like to give me a like. You may even wish to subscribe. That would be very nice. In the meantime, I wish you farewell. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the meditation. If you'd like to learn more about Druidry and nature-based spirituality, then I suggest you check out my video that's here. It's called How to Be a Druid, and it's by far my most popular video, and that will give you a good insight into the practices. Goodbye.